President Xi was right when he said, houses are meant to live in, they're not meant to speculate on. If there was not a Donald Trump, there would be something that's equivalent to that. It's so easy to create money and credit and throw it out there. There was a saying, get it exactly, they want to irrigate without flooding. So everybody says stimulus and throw lots of stimulus at it and so on. Okay, that almost in many ways can reinforce the problem. To build real estate, and that counts as economic growth, or to have economic growth, building real estate that doesn't get occupied and having a real estate bubble is not, and throwing money that way, is not a good economic policy, right? President Xi was right when he said, houses are meant to live in, they're not meant to speculate on. So 70% of the economy, over 70% of the economy, the savings was in real estate and so on, and it created a big bubble. So I think that what we're seeing is a redirection of resources to certain other areas, and I think that that's good. However, the real question is the vitality still of the private markets. I think that that's the big question. Are you going to get the entrepreneurship and that energy, that can-do energy that gets brought up from that inventiveness of individuals and the capital markets like venture markets and so on? The United States is right now in a great internal conflict, as described there, where there's populism of the left and populism of the right, which reflects great wealth and values differences. That's it. So you have to look at the population to understand why we have the candidates and the parties that we have. And so as we come into this period of time, by populism, we also deal with it's a win at all cost mentality, not a compromise mentality. But compromise is considered a sign of weakness. And so there's a question about whether we're going to have an orderly transition of power. The first question, do we have an orderly transition of power? We're not sure that you're going to have that. That's an amazing thing, right? You have to go back in history to see something like that. Of course, it's repeated many times in history. So if you have a orderly transition of power, you're also going to see this fragmentation and the questioning of whether the system is fair and appropriate. Donald Trump is a manifestation of the condition in the country in terms of that populism. Okay. So I think if there was not a Donald Trump, there would be something that's equivalent to that. So let's use wars as an example. There are the two countries at wars, and there's a winner and there's a loser, and then there's a neutral country, those that don't get involved. If you look at histories through wars, the winners lose. They get themselves in debt. Britain is a good example. It gets itself deeply in debt, and it weakens itself. The winners lose. The losers are annihilated. And the real winners are the neutral countries.